Dear professors and guests, it's a great pleasure to welcome you all of you for the fourth day of our FTP program, Agriculture, Environment and Climate Exchange. We will start the program with the words by saying initiative is doing right things without being told. So first of all, I would like to welcome Dr. K.T. Parthiban sir. Is a professor of forestry and is currently heading the Department of Agroforestry, Forest College and Research Institute, TNAU, Mettupalayam. He is engaged in professional forestry teaching, research and extension for the past 18 years. He is pioneering in conceiving the value chain models for industrial agroforestry and promoted industrial wood plantation establishment in association with pulp, paper, match, plywood, and biomass power generation industries. He is also pioneering in development of varieties in trees, particularly in Casuarina and Melia. He is also credentialed for conceiving comprehensive tree insurance scheme and implemented TAS successfully in Tamil Nadu. He was he has vast experience in teaching UG, PG and PhD program in forestry and has guided over 30 MSc and PhD scholars. He has handled numerous projects funded by DST, DPT, ICAR, NOBOD board and several wood-based industries. He has published 7 books and over 100 research papers in his field. Some of his books like Objective Forestry, Subjective Forestry of IFS Aspirants and Industrial Agroforestry have, have found wide range of utility by the students, professional foresters and wood-based industries. Dr. K.T. Parthiban sir traveled widely including UK, France, Republic of Ireland, Germany, Holland, Italy, Hungary, Philippines, and etc. And gained skill and expertise on forestry technologies and applied those techniques in India with suitable modifications. He did 43 research works with 407 citations and 3789 breeds, including wood and plywood quality, characterization of new and alternate species, etc. I am cheerfully welcome Dr. K. Parthiban sir, Dean, Forestry College and Research Institute, to present the topic about industrial agroforestry value chain approach. Sir, please.
Thank you, organizers. Good afternoon, really. I was really thankful to Dean Horticulture, Arabulam sir, for having introduced me to this group. Really, I am impressed the way in which the program is conducted for the last 2 to 3 days, and now I am also be a part of it. And for all the listeners, all the scientists or the faculty members, maybe others who are really interested in agriculture, climate change, and also the other sectors of the development, particularly leading to agriculture productivity. So I am as a forestry man, maybe forestry turned into an agroforestry sector. What we are doing is we are taking agroforestry into a different side. And today the need is the agriculture needs to be evergreen, and the evergreen can come only with the incorporation of trees and tree resources. Without the incorporation of trees and tree resources, you will never see the evergreen agriculture. That's a major mantra. And second important thing is today you don't believe like whatever you and me use without wood and wood resources, we are not really thriving the whole world. That's a very classical example. One classical example I tell, maybe take paper alone. Before 1980s, the paper consumption by you and me was only 3 to 5 kilos per individual per annum. But during 1980s, computers was introduced. The whole country was fascinated with the computer introduction, and the government thought that the paper consumption will come down. You don't believe paper consumption has gone double after the introduction of computers. Today we are in digital era. And everyone says digital, online. But paper consumption has gone to more than 11 to 12 kilos, and almost it is nearing 13 kilos. That means the huge requirement of paper. For each and every kilo of paper, you need to consume nearly 4 kilos of wood. That's a very simplest logic. And today, everyone talks about corona, and everyone talks about nasal masks. And the masks now filters are made. There are several agencies started making masks using papers made out of wood and wood resources. The sanitary napkin made out of the whole country, whole world is predominantly supplemented to the wood and wood resources. So why I'm saying this, I'm just taking only classical example of paper alone. But not only paper, you take any kinds of sectors. You take engineering sector. All engineering sector, if you take, they use predominantly wood and wood resources for only simple reason, packing cases. Packing cases. Without packing cases, can you name any industries? All the reasons I'm asking. Each and every packing cases used in the whole world, either it is for agriculture sector, horticulture sector, or engineering sector. It's all predominant or pharmaceutical sector, even computer sector. Paper packing cases is either by paper or by wood. Paper is again from wood and wood is also from wood. So that is the reason predominantly it is wood and wood resource based. Fortunately or unfortunately, several of us do not know that many products are coming out of forest and forest resources. But under this concept, I am really happy to be here as a part of this faculty development program, taking the view of agriculture, environment and climate change, how agroforestry can play a vital role to boost the agriculture productivity, besides preserving the whole environment in terms of maybe carbon sequestration process or maybe in terms of climate change mitigation and adaptation process. With this few backdrop, I just really go to my presentation. This is what my presentation, industrial agroforestry and value chain. And this is not the total scenario, that's what I'm saying. Whole country is very, very important. Till 1980s, whatever wood and wood resources you and me have used, they're all met predominantly from natural forests. After 1980, thanks to Government of India for having enacted 1980 Forest Conservation Act, followed by 1988 National Forest Policy, and followed by the Supreme Court directives in the year 1996, the felling in natural forests has been totally banned. That is one of the classical examples. Since the felling is banned in natural forests, there is no illegal felling, there is no material is available where the wood will come. The wood has to be sourced from outside the forest area. Outside the forest area means only the trees grown in agricultural land. Rather, what I say is trees grown in agroforestry can be a major raw material to meet the demand. That's a major system. And today, after though it just started after 1996, and today it is almost mandated that every industry should have to develop their own raw material resources. How they will develop their own raw material resources? India has a fixed land resources, 329 million hectares, out of which more than 45% is agriculture sector. Maybe forestry will go 25%. So only we have to go whatever the lands available as a fallow or whatever the lands available with agriculture. Wherever there is agriculture is not commercially profitable, wherever agriculture is not able to meet the livelihood, under those lands which could be profitably converted into tree-based land. That's why I used to say, you co-generate both wood and food in the same area. It's called agroforestry, and that agroforestry is not the traditional agroforestry. Agroforestry is not the new terminology. You historically take the Indian Vedic eras, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, almost all Vedas. Even Vedic era indicated presence of trees in farmlands. People have used tree and tree resources for their domestic utility. So trees were introduced. And since Vedic era, agroforestry has been pronounced. But agroforestry into a commercial sector, agroforestry for meeting environmental sector, agroforestry to reach the other ecosystem services, is there anything which is due? That is the concept. I am introducing now. The concept is called industrial agroforestry. And this industrial agroforestry is a value chain based agroforestry. I am using the word called value chain. It's only one reason, because traditionally forests were available. Traditionally trees were grown in farmlands. Traditionally industries are available. These industries were getting raw material. In many cases, industries never knew where from the raw material comes. Similarly, farmers never knew where the wood goes. Everyone thought the wood means is only for firewood. Not the case. Today, even in India, we have more than 25 different organized sectors of industries. 25 organized sectors of industries. Out of these 25 organized sectors of industries, I am able to quantify, I am able to identify more than 12 different sectors which are very, very unique to the whole country. These industries decide the wood utilization pattern. The demand availability in the whole country is calculated and estimated based on these industries alone. It is estimated more than 152 million meter cube of wood is needed. And these all the 100% of the wood has to come predominantly from forests outside the natural forests. And this is only one aspect. Equal amount of another 150 million meter cube of wood is needed to meet the unorganized sectors of industry. I have not mentioned unorganized sectors of industry. Over and above, another 350 million meter cube of wood is needed to meet the firewood or energy demand, not for domestic sector, but for industrial sector. You take any industries, any engineering industries, pharmaceutical industries, in the almost wood-based industries, agriculture, the processing industry. Everyone uses energy, energy, energy. If you look into it, the energy concept, it may be predominantly either energy from biomass or direct biomass or maybe the translated biomass in the form of bioenergy. All these things quantify another 350 million tons. That means almost India, the whole country demands anything more than 600 to 700 million tons of wood, which is not available in the existing natural forests because all the natural forests are physically closed. And definitely we have to, that is the reason originally India was an exporting country for major wood waste. Today we are the net importing countries. You take any process or products, and most of the products started imported to the country. I come to each and everything. These are the industries. It starts from paper and paperboard up to MDF, medium density fiberboard alone. Next slide. And this is not one classical paper industries. You take Tamil Nadu alone, for the whole country, demand is more than 12 million tons. It goes up to 25 million tons. That means double the time. So this projected demand, even this is because of changes in educational policy. Educational policy has attracted more utilization of paper, and the policy decision on the use of wood and wood resources, particularly housing policy sector, also increase the use of wood and wood resources automatically in each and every stage, starting from sanitary napkin brittle paper, tissue paper, up to writing paper, almost every category of paper, they are all demanded, and this demand is met predominantly from wood and wood resources grown outside the forest sector. Next slide. And next slide. And the next important thing, decomposed wood technology. Decomposed wood technology. This is very, very classical. Today, no one uses timber in the country. Timber is used, but only imported timber. Where is the timber available? Indigenous timber available. You go to market and you ask for Indian timber. They will give only Ghana timber, South African timber. And otherwise, all the carpenters you ask today, flush doors have come predominantly made from composite wood technology, not with the regular solid wood technology. That's the system. And India is housed with over 2,000 plywood industries. I am saying both small scale, medium scale, large scale industries. Even I have given the wood requirement Tamil Nadu alone, we need more than 12 lakh tons of wood per annum. Where is the wood available? And take face veneer. Face veneer is 100% of most important to India from almost rest of the world. Today, we are looking for decentralized plywood production. We are looking for the indigenous production of materials. So where is the scope? Next slide. And third important thing is match wood. India is a robust producer of match splits. Many people say match, who is producing match? Everyone says they will be producing using waxes. No, you don't. It is not correct. Even Tamil Nadu alone, we have more than 6,000 industries. Small scale industries. No, they are all highly unorganized industries. Tamil Nadu and Kerala, they are the robust sectors for match industries. And today, what is happening? Originally, match industries were using only two species. Ailanthus excelsa, maybe Albizia vulgataria or Ailanthus stripesa. Today, the Ailanthus is not available except in Kerala. So Tamil Nadu entire wood is now started importing. And it has been estimated very clearly. Over 60% of the material used in Tamil Nadu is imported from the rest of the country, particularly from the poplar based system. And definitely there is a need. There is a scope of match wood. Timber resources. Very classically, timber is imported. 70 to 80% of the timber used in the country is imported to India. Originally, we were exporters. Today, we have become net importers. You know, Britishers, when they came to India, they are fascinated with the Indian timbers, particularly teak in South India, rosewood in Central and North India, and cedar in North India. These three species are royal timbers for the Britishers. Taken the wood, transported to the rest of the world, and from there, ships are manufactured, produced. Those ships are traveled across Commonwealth countries. That's the history. Today, you go to the timber market, you ask for Indian timber, you will never get. You will get Ghana timber, South African timber, Costa Rican timber, Colombian timber, and what else you want? And timber, Indian timber, we are not able to get except maybe Kerala, maybe part of Maharashtra, and other parts still it is important. Particularly states like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, almost it's all 100% is going to be imported now. So there is a huge demand. Next slide. And similarly, power generation. Today, Government of India is mandated with renewable energy resources. It is possible through solar, but solar is possible only by 8 hours. It is possible through water, hydroelectric project, there must be rain occurring. And it is possible through the wind. Wind has to blow, and wind blowing is hardly possible between 3 and 4 months. That means all 365 days, it is 24 hours. Where is the technology? Which is only biomass power generation technologies. And this technology is available. This can go for even inaccessible villages. There was an estimate even a couple of years back, 12,000 Indian villages will go out of power because of connectivity. That means no grid is needed. It can be a decentralized system. There is a possibility. You take very classical examples, agro residues. Whatever the agro residues born in the North India, can it be used for biomass power generation? And whether the logistics can work. But that is the reason now we are replacing dendro power generation, where you can translate wood into energy. Enough technologies are available, but no raw material. If the industries are available, we have more than 33 industries with the installed capacity of over 500 megawatt. But the problem is we are able to generate hardly between 100 and 160 megawatt. Other capacity we are not able to utilize for only one reason: there is no raw material. Next slide. Biofuel resources. Now, Government of India has mandated 20+% blending. Not only now, 2017 onwards. Maybe either diesel or ethanol. Diesel is from predominantly from the tree-based oil seeds. Ethanol from lignocellulosic biomass. Recently, Government of India has launched ethanol project in North India. Very good. Similarly, can we use the lignocellulosic biomass available in tree resources to ethanol production? Bamboo is one classical example. There is a technology. Similarly, other wood species, we have invented several high cellulose low lignin species, which are amenable for the biofuel sector. Similarly, we are able to identify high yielding the oilseed varieties in Jatropha, in Bugemia pinnata, in neem, in courage, in Saimaruba. Where can it be used with the sector? But only thing is promotional activities. Currently, even ethanol is imported. Oilseeds are there. Biodiesel is getting also imported. So that means there is a greater scope. And the scope is possible because the whole country, we are replacing more than 80% of the fuel resources used in the country is imported fuel. That is the one classical example. Next slide. Next slide. Next is high value timbers. Today, there is a mantra, everyone talks about two words, sandalwood and red sanders. Whether the red sanders will give you money, crore money. Sandalwood will give you crore money. Because there is an international market, but there is no organized market. And India is a hub for these two species. We are endemic to these two species are endemic to this region. So definitely there is a scope when it is introduced to farmlands, agroforestry and farm forestry. But after introduction, now wide range of introduction have happened. But what is the problem? Marketing is the problem. And user agency, indigenous user agency is the problem. So we are able to identify. So there is a problem in these industries, in these species, though it is high value, but there is a problem in supply chain. Excellent. And the packing case, one of the robust industries. You don't believe. You take any sectors of industries available in the whole country, any utilization sector, any manufacturing sector, any trading sector. Without these packing cases, no industry will run. You take any the engineering industries, take Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. Please go to the industries, look for their packing case material, predominantly wood and wood resources. I am just giving only an example. Same is the case for all sectors of industry. It is for telephone communications, computer sector, vegetable sector, fruit sector, pharmaceutical sector, or maybe motor sector, veterinary sector, or any engineering sector. Packing case, but unfortunately, supply chain is highly unorganized. No one knows what is, because these industries, they will give only the packing cases, ready-made packing cases. When you go to the packing case industry, they will tell we are getting only plants. We never knew what is the species. So all these things are very, very important. Now, this is also getting attracted because of beach houses. Today, there is a very big economy is going on the construction of beach houses. Beach houses are constructed using packing case material. That is also possible. And similarly, sports goods. Today, India is a hub to sports industries. You go to Punjab, particularly Hoshiarpur, almost flooded with over 1,000 sports goods industries. And slowly it is spreading across, particularly westernized world, whatever the garden game equipments are needed, they are all going only from Indian resources. So there is a greater scope, but unfortunately supply chain is highly unorganized. Next slide. And the demand is also not cattle feed industry. Today, the Western people, particularly Australia, European countries, they are looking for a low-cost feed for animal feed and also agriculture utility. They are all looking for the cheapest material. One of the cheapest material identified in forestry-based leaf litter. And the leaf litter, agroforestry-based leaf litter, the trees can be grown not only for wood, but also for leaf as well. These leaves can go as a caterpillar material. We are also working on the sector. Next slide. I'm just giving other industries, construction industries. You know that how Government of India housing policy, each and every house is for each and every house for every family. That means 25 crore family needs to be house flooded with the houses. Similarly, automobile industries, trucks and bodybuilding, railway sleeping industries. All these industries are demanding huge raw material. But when you ask for demand and supply, there is highly unorganized sectors. So that is the reason Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, we have defined a value chain model design. That value chain model is implemented during the last over a decade, and we are very, very successful. We are able to generate organized resources of material, certified material. These materials are used by the industries in a larger scale. So that is the reason I have whatever I have said industries, I just only an indicative industries. I am saying the predominant industries who are designing the forest economy or agroforestry economy or the country's economy. These industries alone we have taken, and for these industries, there are a lot of problems. One is, first and foremost, the problem is production level problem. If you go to farmers always asking which variety. The farmers don't want the varieties in years. They don't want to wait for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. They want trees in months. Can I harvest trees in 12 months? Can I harvest trees in 24 months? Can I harvest in 36 months? Similarly, industries, they are also not ready to wait for a longer period. They want to harvest everything in a shortest period with improved technology. So there is a production level problems, inferior genetic resources. Unlike agriculture and horticulture, there is no release of cultures before 10 years back. Similarly, quality planting materials. Predominantly, most of the trees are highly cross-pollinated. So they exhibit a lot of segregations, which lead to low productivity and erratic productivity. And there is no alternate genetic resources. People don't want to wait for long rotation, longer period. They want everything shortest period. And silviculture, precision silviculture. Similar to precision horticulture and agriculture, can we do precision silviculture? And moreover, can we integrate both wood and food in the same area? Co-generation of wood and food in the same area. These are all production level problems. Processing, lack of processing technology. Traditionally, we are using very age-old technologies, several industries, which incur a lot of water, which incur a lot of energy. And now technologies are available where low water with the minimal energy, higher output. That is the concept which the industries have to be translated. Similarly, harvest and post-harvest management technologies and post-harvest value addition technology. All these things, on the 10 years back, there was a problem. Today, we are able to come up with the solutions. And consumption over and above unorganized market. Even today, you take agriculture, tomato, brinjal, erratic markets. But now, for all the listeners who are connecting me through online, I am very proudly say TNA has developed a model which is amenable for more than 7 different species where there is a support price. And that support price is slowly keep on increasing during the last 10 years. That is one of the advantages. And second week, there was a week buyback. I was, in the initial presentation, I said, industries never knew where from the wood comes. I said, farmers never knew where the wood goes. Today, farmers know where the wood goes. Industries know where from the wood comes, and there is a buyback. So automatically, on price supportive system, I am very, very fortunate, very proud to say, the TNA has intervened, Forest College and Research Institute has intervened over 7 different tree species. Prices have been supported through the consortium of industrial agroforestry, and we have made an institutional arrangement so that this is going to be a regular mechanism so that tree growing farmers can be benefited. So the existing missing links of the original supply chain, today we have intervened through value chain model. That means intervention through production level, intervention at a processing level, intervention at consumption level, and the production and processing level, I have made it as a technological intervention, and the consumption level, I have made it as a organizational intervention and marketing intervention. So I'll be talking to you next 10 to 15 minutes, the interventions, whatever we have made so far. Next slide. One and foremost is a technological interventions. Next slide. The technological intervention is very clear. I am a breeder. I always say design a tree. And how can I design that? For designing a tree, today I am harvesting in trees in 12 to 16, 18 months. The tree which is the clone which is amenable is for paper production within 18 months. Some of the clones are amenable for within 36 to 48 months for plywood industry. Some of the clones are amenable for timber utilization even within 6 to 8 years. That is also possible. That means we are able to design a tree based on the industrial requirement, based on the farmer's ability. Every part of the tree is used. This is a breeding plant where it grows all the crops. This resulted in development of varieties. There are 2 Casuarina variety. Now the one more variety is now CJ01 is also now in the pipeline to be released. These varieties, TNE in the whole country, TNE was the first university in the whole country to release the variety in Casuarina in the year 2008. After that, several organizations have released the variety. But releasing a variety through clone base, TNE was pioneer in Casuarina, and that was productivity level was over 100 tons per hectare per annum. Today, I have improved the productivity level to 150 tons per hectare per annum, and another variety is going to come that is going to give more wood quality as well. So these are the varieties. Next slide. And similarly, new hybrids are also developed. Those hybrids are also in the various stages of development. Next slide. And eucalyptus also we have come to the 2-3 varieties now. FTP1 now low bark thickness new variety has come. The eucalyptus hybrid has come. Eurograndis hybrid, which has been introduced from Brazil, that is also now available. These are amenable for harvest between 24 months to 36 months of plywood for paper industry and over 5 years for plywood industry. Next slide. And now the mantra Melia dubia, another tree. The Melia dubia of India, in the whole country, TNE was the first institute to release 2 varieties in Melia dubia. Now it is successfully adapted across the country. The varieties are available up to Gujarat in the east, in the western part, and up to Uttar Pradesh in the northern. Even last week, there was farming community from Bundelkhand district. They have taken material from Metropolium, and that has been reached planted. Why I'm saying this? Huge varieties are available now. I have defined now varieties for pulpwood, Melia dubia varieties for plywood, Melia dubia varieties for plywood core veneer, Melia dubia varieties for plywood face veneer, and now Melia dubia for packing cases, Melia dubia for lorry bodybuilding, and now Melia dubia for timber as well. So beautiful varieties are developed. The rotation has been brought from 10 to 15 years to 2 years to 6 years. That's a very classical achievement. Now you can see how the wood is utilized. I just showcased the video. This is not the Melia wood. 5 years old, 4 to 5 years old Melia dubia wood is now converted into core veneer. For all the listeners, this is how it is converted into core veneer. Next. Similarly, one more plantation sector. 18 months old plantation ready for harvest. 18 months old plantation ready for harvest. The productivity is 100 tons per hectare. 100 tons per hectare. It has been harvested. We have also segregated even 18 months. Almost we have got 20% of the material for plywood production. Next slide. Similarly, and international people have also visited to take Melia dubia for filter papers, Melia dubia for sanitary napkin filter papers. Now, last year we have released one more variety, Kadam, Neolamarkia Kadam, Anthocephalus Kadam. Good fodder species, good tree for plywood, and excellent tree for matching. So similarly, Acacia hybrid. This is all the new species available for incorporation in agroforestry land. Next slide. And Acrocarpus fraxifolius, beautiful tree for plywood industries, and timber industries. Next slide. And African mahogany, Kaya, I think huge cry is going on now. African mahogany. Now this utilization, this is heavy density, and it can be used predominantly for either biomass or for timber. The supply chain is highly unorganized. I am getting now material, some other material from Mumbai, some other material from our own forest college. It is at a very stage of research and development. Within a year, we will be able to come out with a solution for marketing of this particular species. Next slide. Similarly, Tuna ciliata, beautiful. It is called Tamil, it is called Sandana Vembu. This tree is one of the next similar to Melia dubia. This is also going to be a best tree because the tree is pinkish in color. a pink color. And this utilization, we are going for a decorative plywoods. Thanks to Century Ply and Sharon Ply and Ambi Ply for having intervened in this particular species. We have introduced this species. Now industries have adapted this species. They have also assured a minimum support price of 7,500 to 8,000 rupees per ton. The species is amenable for harvest in 6 years. Next slide. And another, you see how we have almost 16 different tree species. We have gone for a plywood production. And this plywood production, go with video. This plywood production we have now introduced into the market as well. Wide species. And this is one species of base veneer. All the listeners, this was one of the critical intervention by GNIU. We have made I have said in the initial presentation, face veneer is 100% imported to India. Today we have inventorized a clone for a face veneer production. The original plywood was a core veneer. This face veneer is the first intervention in the whole country, and now industry has adapted. If the variety goes to the farmers will get higher prices. Early rotation, best clone, higher productivity, higher return. So that means the wood, the clone which is available, which is amenable for wide range of plywood utilization. Within another 3 to 5 years, all the user agencies, including you and me, will be getting decorative plywood made after the clone going to be released. You just see what these are the varieties. First one is Chucretia tabularis, CT, EC Gamalensis, MP Mitragena Forum, EH Eucalyptus hybrid, NC Neuroamerica Kadam, ET Eucalyptus dedicanus, TC Tunas lieta, ETA Eucalyptus dedicanus hybrid, CS Casuarina equisnifolia, MD Emilia dubia, SM Switchinia macropulla, AF Acrocarpus fraxinifolia, EHB hybrid, EHA hybrid, AM Acacia magium, CT Sucretia tabularis. All the plywoods have been floated in the market. We are able to scrutinize the sensitivity of the plywood, the user, particularly industries, traders, carpenters. I have got beautiful feedback that everyone is amenable for plywood. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, for all the listeners, plywoods will be available cheapest rate, best material, medium rate, quality material, and higher rate, excellent material. So that means we are going to intervene in the entire housing sector with our new intervention. Next slide. And this is Ailanthus Excel for match industries. Next slide. And similarly, teak. I have got now, you know, the lot of advertisements going on teak. Teak, people are selling for 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 200 rupees. But what is the pedigree? What is the utilization? Today, GNA has come out with the 3 varieties. 3 varieties, MTP TK07, 21, 16. All are medium density to higher density. All are amenable for harvest between 8 and 12 years, maximum 15 years. And the density range is 0.6 to 0.7. And utilization sector, we have also defined seasoning technology for this particular species. So automatically, there's a good scope for adoption of these varieties. Next slide. Similarly, I have come with the Dalbergia system, beautiful timber. It can be replaced even teak as well. I have come with a variety, DS18. This variety, this clone is amenable for timber utilization. Farmers are not aware of this variety. This can be incorporated as a timber in the farmlands. Next slide. Malaina arborea kubul, another species, we have come out with the variety, and the variety is also under various stages of evaluation. And this is again for a composite root technology and also for timber utilization. Next slide. And the subabul, everyone talks about subabul. Subabul is the high cedar, natural regeneration, invasive. And now before that is the technology we are also developing. Identify some projects, the side bearer, low seed production, and the wood is now used as a door. We now fixes, prices are also fixed for subabul. Subabul amenable for anything more than 24 inches. Amenable for 5,500 as a price support system. Next slide. And so Swetchinia macropulla, mahogany, 7,500 prices. Now we have also come out with the variety. SM20 variety has also been identified. Next slide. And now wide range of wood antiques. Do you know how the wood antiques are made? Using only from Albizzias. All Albizzias, now we are going for up to teak. Wide range of technologies are now available. Next slide. Improved high value trees. The red sanders, those who are watching, those who are interested in red sanders, you know how we are doing it. We are also identifying some of the red sanders, some of the varieties, and these varieties are tested with the hardwood content, tested with the density, tested with the quality, and these are all going for a testing process. Now we have come with the varieties, and that varieties are amenable for introduction to farmlands. So we are also now looking for indigenous consuming industries in various sectors. Negotiations are going on. Down to another 1 to 2 years, we'll be able to come out with the business incubator who can adopt this particular variety. Next slide. Similarly, Santalum album. I am also, that Santalum album, there is a huge cry. Where people say, wide range of classification. Now I am able to come out with the variety. I am able to come out with the technology, and these varieties are now used for commercialization by Forest College Research Institute. We are also using this technology, and we are also testing the tested material, qualitatively tested material. That variety alone is given to farmers. So like that, we are also making it. And the cloning process, cloning technology development is in the process. Maybe I am looking for another few months. It will become as a clone. Standard clone will also be available to the market. Next slide. Next slide. So similarly, hybrid jatropha's are available. Next slide. Hybrid, the lignocellulosic biomass of various clones are available. Next slide. And all these varieties, I am demonstrating not only institute level, I am demonstrating across farmlands. Wherever farm, with the consent of farmers, we demonstrate the varieties based on the acceptance of the farmers, based on the acceptance of the industry, based on the support price facilitated by the industry, based on the provision for assurance. Then only the variety will go to farmlands through Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, through State Department of Agriculture. In the form of variety list, it is going to the farmers. We don't name just like that. We don't release just like that. There is a series of process TNA designed, and the entire thing will be presented before the government of Tamil Nadu through the Department of Agriculture, wherein it has got approval. Then only it goes to the adoption level. So mind you, all the listeners, take these technology varieties, promote these varieties on a larger scale. Currently, our varieties are promoted only at a minimal level. Maybe some plywood industry, some paper industry, some farming industries. But I want promotion level by all sectors. Like how it happens in agriculture sector and horticulture. All block level, village level, panchayat level, it has to be promoted. And all faculty development program, all the listeners who are joining us, please take this as a message. Take the variety. The scientists have put a lot of efforts to develop these varieties. It has to go to the farmland for utilization. If it really goes, definitely we can become a self-reliance. Next slide. And these are the technology, mini clonal technology. That means the varieties are developed not through seed based, but through clone based. How we are developing these varieties? Already several consortium industries, consortium farmers are adopting this at the national level. 15 organizations are adopting this technology. I think there are huge technology. There are the two-stage technology. One is mother garden, second is mass multiplication, then developing the clonal plants. Huge technology is going on. That is also now available for adoption and utilization. This is for Casuarina. Similarly, for Melia, motherbed collection, cloning technology. All my students are trained, my farmers are trained, my incubators are trained. It will go to the farmers. And very simple, take the apical shoots, root it. That is more than enough. Even you can reduce the size also. Even two modes. Even farmers can do very simply. No need to have a very big wish chamber like this. You can go for a lattice system. No issue at all. It is also possible. More than 80% rooting, and the variety, technology, higher productivity. Very simply, it can go to the systems. Next, similarly, Kadam, Anthosphagus Kadam. That is also multiplied. Huge multiply, very easy. We are also multiplying. This multiplication. Segregation, another. Segregation, planting. So automatically there's a technology. This technology is now rooted plants ready. That means similarly this technology is now developed for tea. This technology is developed for Tuna ciliata. This technology is developed for almost 12 different tree species. My concept is not only to promote trees alone, promote trees along with agriculture crops. How the agriculture crop? Today I have developed a model called multifunctional agroforestry model. Even less than 1 acre, the farmer can earn the revenue of 1,000 rupees per day. I am saying not per month, 1,000 rupees per day. The video. Okay. Anyway, this is not the ideal video. Now, new video is ready. I think we can. This is close to you. This model is for only 1 acre. Farmer, it is called family farming. Farmer can adopt this technology. They can do this system every day, minimum 550 rupees, maximum 1000 rupees. He can also incorporate 1 cow and 2 goats. That's the system which we are promoting. Next slide. So all these are possible because of mechanization. We are also now introducing mechanization. Starting with the land development. Go ahead. Land development. This is everyone knows. Land development, everyone knows. There is no issue. Next slide. And this land development, you go to pitting. Now what we are doing is mechanized pitting. No labor is needed. You just hire, directly go for a pitch. 1 feet pitch, 2 feet pitch, 3 feet pitch. I am using this technology for almost all types of land. Just only for examples of listeners, I am using this. And because of this, planting is easily attracted. Similarly, harvesting. We are creating harvesting, decentralized harvesting. Harvesting, decentralized harvesting, we are making it. Harvesting, transportation. Farmer need not do these. We have a system of mechanization. We have a system of the consortium. The system of mechanization consortium is taking. Now debarking also. Thanks to my consortium industry. Now all the industries are asking after debarking only. What the farmer will do, he cannot do debarking. So we are creating decentralized debarking system. And after debarking, the bark is going for a biomass power generation or for a value addition. The wood is going to the industries. Similarly, now total chipping. Thanks to Santosh Machineries. Next. Similarly, I will show you some of the value addition technology. I just see fastly I'll go. This is another particle board. The wood which is less than 2 inches girth, it can go for a plywood. Anything less than 2 inches. Similarly, next. Cut-wood technology. This is cut-wood technology. Cut-wood technology. Next. This is for briquetting industry. This is for gasification industry. Now, neem brushes. Now there is a huge demand. Neem brush. That means neem wood is converted into brush. That brush is now we are getting a lot of markets. Now we are designing the process of various designing. This is only what we know is the brushes made out of neem. So that's a very simplest classical example which we are using. And similarly, we have got a photographs. Beautiful photographs. You know, I have grasses, commercial grown grasses, and this is my tree, my clonal tree. The goats are preferring only tree, not the grasses. That means this is attracted directly by the goat. After completing the tree leaves, then only it prefers the grasses. That is an attraction that is going on. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, next. So similarly, wood antiques, all the value-added products. Go ahead. Almost all the value-added products. Wooden floor. Teak-based wooden floor. Next slide. Next slide. And this is what very critical. Whatever I said, technologies. Now, organizational intervention. Originally, I have said industries work independently. Farmers grow independently. Today, there is a system. Corporate model. TNA will be there. Farmer will be there. Industries, financial institutions, all will be joining, promoting initially. Based on the initial success. Now, this will be translated to tripartite, where institute, industries, and farmers. Today, once the success is over, industries will go farmers and industry. That was the success of paper industry. Started in the year 2004 with the corporate model. Today, it is bipartite model for paper industry. And today, we are implementing corporate model and tripartite model for paper and plywood industry and timber industry. After 5 years, that will become a bipartite model for each and every category of industry. We are intervening with the organizational contract farming system. Before enactment of contract farming by government, TNA has adapted contract farming, designed contract farming, introduced and implemented in Tamil Nadu. That is one of the success story. Next slide. And these are the promotional model which we are doing it. Next slide. And marketing interventions. And again, the whole country, TNA has taken a lead of fixing prices through a consortium approach, listening to industry, listening to farmers, and based on the research intervention by our scientists, all these have been moderated. We are able to arrive a price. That price has been validated by consortium workshop. That has been disseminated to the industries. Industries have adapted, and that is now implemented. That means 18 different industries are available. 7 different species are introduced. So like that, that's a major intervention. These are the support prices. These are the support prices available. Next slide. So whatever I have said, even during the process we have experienced, during the process of promoting agroforestry, we experienced tsunami, we experienced Thane cyclone, we have experienced Gaja cyclone. All these have made us to comprehensively plan for an insurance system. Today, insurance is available for 7 different species. But unfortunately, this concept has not taken very seriously with several people. Now, only after Delhi they are coming. What is needed is, even at the time of planting, farmers should ensuring the crop. Since it is not for the last 6 years, it has not taken. Insurance companies are also now really not interested. So this has to be taken in a larger way. And this is how I have spread across our technology. Have spread. Initially, we targeted only 5 districts. Today, we are operating in 11 states of India. Almost all districts of Tamil Nadu. 11 states and all districts of Tamil Nadu. This has created excellent area expansion, excellent productivity impact, excellent economic impact, and that has given good socio-economic impact to the employment generation. And over and above, environmental impact. Each and every hectare is able to contribute a minimum of 15 tons of carbon. To trade the carbon, we have also linked to one of our incubating. To trade a carbon also, we are in the process. So this has all resulted in increase in tree cover, trees outside forests, for which TNA is a mandate. Next slide. So I am also now sustaining all the technology development. How? The sustaining is possible because of I have developed a consortium of industrial agroforestry. For all the scientists, any research after the research project is over will forget. Fortunately, TNAU, I have taken the responsibility of sustaining this model. Now we are sustaining the entire value chain model initiated in the year 2004, validated by 2008. Today it has become independent, self-reliance, created a system. And this consortium has more than 260 members as on today. And there is a consortium nurseries. Next slide. Consortium nurseries, they are able to multiply more than 20 million plants. Next slide. And the consortium plantation developers, they are annually planting 5,000 acres per annum. Next slide. Consortium plantation building institution, they are annually able to harvest more than 3.5 lakh tons of wood to the industry. Next slide. And the consortium participation of industries, more than 35 industries, starting from timber industry, paper industry, plywood industry, match, power, biofuel, essential oil, value addition, and other industries. Totally 36 industries are associated with the whole group of development. And all these, whatever I have said, this is possible because of continuous MOU with the industries. And the MOUs are also very clear. Now today, for all the listeners, this consortium, the value chain model, the technology, the value chain, the consortium, now it is attested in the form of business incubation. All the technologies are now getting commercialized. I am able to create annually 5 entrepreneurs. These 5 entrepreneurs are starting the technology, adapting the technology, translating the technology into a value addition. And the beneficiaries are, farmers are beneficiaries, industries are beneficiaries, self-help groups are beneficiaries, individual youth are beneficiary, unemployed youth are beneficial, professional graduates are beneficial, any students with or without education, they are also beneficiary. So all these things are possible. Any common man who wants to be entrepreneur, who wants to be a startup, with business, with money, without money, with the technology, without technology, our agroforestry business incubation forum is taking the entire concept, translating the common man into a businessman. That is also into the process. And because of this, there are startup companies started creating. We are able to link with industries. There is a chances of technology transfer, chances of entrepreneurship development, chances of skill development, and chances of commercialization. And this can very well address the government concept of Make in India project. That is also possible for agroforestry and forestry sector. All the listeners, please translate these messages to all the stakeholders. Like whatever I have said, Because of all these activities taken by TNIU Forest College and Research Institute, my farmers are happy, industries are happy, we are able to happy, they make the entrepreneurs happy, and the TNIU is also happy because we are creating a largest platform in the country for our discussions, mutual benefits, mutual consultations, so that the country will can see evergreen agriculture through agroforestry. The country can witness Make in India successfully through agroforestry and forestry sector. The country can witness the excellent biofarming. This biofarming can translate the country into a green country through more planting of trees. So all these things are possible that because of the technology developed by KNIU. And whatever I have said, it is available in the public domain. These are the books written by me. It is available for public domain. Similarly, I have also written books for all the aspirants who are looking for a IFS or civil service. The books are available in the public domain. And for farmers, the book like Manam Mattum Valandal Marangal, published by Kannada Symbol, that is also available in the market. Next slide. So all these things, we are able to translate the technology in a multifunctional concept. Only thing is, traditional supply chain has been intervened through technological advances. The technological advances have made it through technology intervention, the linking of people through organization intervention, and assuring prices through marketing intervention. All these are possible because of consortium approach, because the consortium approach has been translated into a business approach that leads to continuous sustainability, not now, during the last 1 decade. I am sure that even down the line, another 5 to 6 decades, this consortium can be a very big institution. Will cater to the needs of the farmer, will cater to the needs of the industries, will cater to the needs of the not only the country, but the global perspective. It can satisfy the demands of the global perspective in terms of raw material security, in terms of income and employment generation, over and above. It is the best model for climate change and mitigation. Thanks for the opportunity given.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your excellent presentation.